The Zerathian research vessel Quantum Seeker hung in the darkness beyond Jupiter's orbit, its sleek crystalline hull reflecting the distant sun's pale light. Inside the observation deck, senior xenobiologist Vexthar clicked his mandibles in satisfaction as he reviewed the data streaming across holographic displays. Remarkable specimens. He chittered to his assistant. The humans call themselves Catherine Reeves and Clark Morrison. Both are prime examples of their species: young, healthy, cooperative. The two humans floated in separate containment chambers, unconscious but monitored. The Zerathians had abducted them 3 cycles ago from a research station on Mars, believing them to be typical representatives of Earth's dominant species. The galaxy's most prestigious scientific consortium had commissioned this study after humanity's recent emergence into interstellar space had raised countless questions. How did such a fragile species survive on a death world? Why did they lack natural armor, venom, or combat appendages? The Zerathians would find answers. Catherine's eyes snapped open. Her head throbbed, and the sterile white chamber around her was definitely not her quarters on Olympus Station. She pressed her palm against the transparent barrier, her engineering mind immediately cataloging details. Energy field, not physical glass. Sophisticated tech, non-human design. Across from her chamber, Clark stirred. The geologist sat up slowly, his dark eyes taking in their situation with unsettling calm. "You okay?" Catherine called out. Clark nodded. "You, Peachy, any idea where we are?" Before Clark could respond, a door IRized open. 3 insectoid aliens entered, their multiple eyes gleaming with scientific curiosity. The tallest one approached, and a translation device around its neck crackled to life. "Greetings, humans. I am Vexthar. You have been selected for observation. Do not be alarmed. We wish only to understand your species." Catherine's jaw tightened. "Kidnapping isn't usually the first step in diplomatic relations. Your consent was impractical to obtain through proper channels," Vexthar replied. "Now, we shall begin with basic physical assessments." The Zerathians hadn't expected resistance. After all, every other species in the galaxy accepted their role in the natural order. The strong dominated, the weak complied. They had never met humans before. On the 3rd day, during what Vexthar called stress response testing, everything changed. The Zerathians had separated Catherine and Clark, placing each in isolated chambers. They introduced mild electric shocks, cold temperatures, and food deprivation standard protocols used on dozens of species. Clark endured silently, his body entering a state the monitors couldn't quite interpret. His heart rate dropped, his metabolism slowed. The Zerathians noted with fascination that humans could apparently enter voluntary hibernation states. They were wrong. Clark was planning. In her chamber, Catherine had already begun dismantling the energy field generator using a metal shard she'd pried from her sleeping platform. Her hands worked with practiced precision, rerouting circuits she barely understood, but could intuitively manipulate. Engineers didn't need to fully comprehend alien tech, they just needed to see patterns. The barrier flickered and died. Alarms shrieked through the vessel. Vexthar rushed toward the containment sector, his security team chittering in panic. Impossible. The female couldn't have. The blast doors buckled inward. Catherine emerged, wielding a jury-rigged plasma cutter she'd assembled from 3 different stolen components. Her face was set in an expression that made Vexthar's instincts scream predator. "Where is Clark?" she growled. The Zerathians opened fire with their neural disruptors, non-lethal weapons designed to incapacitate. Catherine dodged with reflexes honed in Mars's lower gravity, moving faster than their targeting systems could track. She closed the distance in seconds, her improvised weapons slicing through their armor like tissue paper. The Zerathians had never encountered a species that fought with such ferocity when defending its own. By the time Catherine reached Clark's chamber, she'd left a trail of stunned and terrified researchers in her wake. She burned through the door to find Clark already free, standing over to unconscious guards. "Took you long enough," he said with a slight smile. "Had to make a weapon first." Clark held up a jagged piece of metal. "Sometimes simple works." They fought their way to the bridge. And that's when the Zerathians learned their second lesson about humanity. Humans didn't just survive, they adapted, improvised, and overcame. Catherine's fingers flew across the alien navigation console, her mind parsing the foreign interface with terrifying speed. "I can fly this thing. You've never even seen this tech before." Vexthar protested, held at plasma point by Clark. "Don't need to," Catherine replied. "Physics is physics. Thrust is thrust." She initiated a launch sequence that should have required 3 trained operators. Clark secured the bridge while Catherine piloted the massive research vessel. With audacious confidence, aiming it toward the Mars trade routes where human patrol ships operated, Vexthar watched in horror and awe as these creatures, these supposedly primitive beings, commandeered his ship with nothing but raw determination and frightening intelligence. "Your species," he whispered. "You evolved on a world that tried to kill you every day, didn't you?" Clark glanced at him. "Predators, diseases, weather, scarcity. Yeah, Earth wasn't kind. So we got tough. We got smart. We learned to turn every disadvantage into a weapon. But why?" Vexthar asked. "Why such aggression? Such violence?" Catherine spoke without turning from the controls. "Because we protect our own. You took us. You hurt us. You thought we were specimens to be studied." She finally looked at the alien, her eyes cold and hard. "Big mistake." 3 hours later, a human frigate intercepted the Quantum Seeker. When the boarding team arrived, they found 2 slightly worse forward humans on the bridge, surrounded by terrified Zerathian researchers who couldn't stop babbling about Earth's nightmare species. As Catherine and Clark were escorted to safety, the frigate's captain listened to Vexthar's frantic warnings. "Tell your galactic consortium," the captain said calmly, "that humanity doesn't appreciate being treated like lab rats. Next time you want to study us, try asking nicely. We're friendly until we're not." The report Vexthar filed became legendary across the galaxy. "Do not engage humans with hostile intent. Do not underestimate human capabilities. Do not assume human weakness. They are from Earth. They are survivors. They are dangerous. And humanity? They just added another species to the list of civilizations that learned this truth the hard way." The galaxy was indeed not ready.